Welcome back, everyone. We're just about to get into day 5 of the Surviving Your First Week series, where I talk through all of my thoughts in real time as I play, give advice for new players based on the experiences I'm having in-game, and try to help you understand what you should be focusing on in these early stages. If this is your first time clicking on this series, you can find a link to episode 1 down in the description of this video. Now, this one starts off pretty smooth, but later in the episode, things get a little tense, and I think it really helps to show that not everything will go your way. Mistakes will be made, whatever you do, and it's really just all about knowing how to recover from them. With that said, here's day 5 of your first week in Build 42. Okay, so we are back with a brand new day. In our last video, we managed to get ourselves a little bit of gas, and we also managed to identify the location of a working vehicle. So the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to go get ourselves that vehicle. That is now my immediate priority that I want to try and get out of the way. Now, I have been thinking between the last video and this one. Previously, I was saying that I want to move to the fire station, which is over here, and get set up over there as soon as possible. But I think I'm instead going to opt to stay where I am until the helicopter event has passed. Otherwise, I would need to board up the fire station and get some curtains up and everything before day 6, as we're on day 5 now. So I'd need to do it today, and I don't think that's viable. So what we're gonna do is we're simply gonna skip moving, and we're gonna wait until after the helicopter event has been and gone before we move our base location. We can still, however, prep everything that we need or want to prep before our move. So I'm gonna recover the vehicle. I'm gonna head back to base. My next steps are gas, electricity, so we need a generator, and stocking up on food so that I have enough to sort of stay indoors, survive the helicopter event, and continue on. If you don't know what the helicopter event is, between the days 6 and 9, the helicopter shows up, makes a whole bunch of noise, and if it sees you, it will follow you and draw the zombies to your location. So what we want to do during that day is stay out of sight and stay indoors, or if we have a vehicle and enough fuel to do so, we can drive around somewhere else that we don't really care about and just stay on the move. But for me right now, I think our best bet will just be to stay indoors and stay out of sight. So we've got a couple of zombies on the road. We're just going to take our time here, work our way through them. We've got to get to this vehicle, and I want to avoid attracting as much attention as I can. So we're going to fight these zombies only if they aggro to me. Okay, so far, we're looking pretty good. Those zombies are leaving us alone currently. And we have already looted the library and the school, which was kind of like my goal with the school. The canteen is another option, but I feel like the food is probably rotten in there by now, or at least very close to it. I think the taxi is on this driveway. Alrighty, so our goal here is just to fill this up and get back home. I might loot this house while we go. Oh, there's another one right here. It's got to be for one of these, right? Yeah, all right. Let's fill this thing up. Now, the amount of fuel we've got is not great, and I'm waiting to see how much this is going to add up to. I don't think it's going to be a lot, so we're going to have to put hitting the gas station pretty high on our priority list, I feel like. Yeah, okay, so the vehicle's running as we knew, but our gas is very low, so we're gonna get this back to base, and then I think we may just go to the gas station and try to get that sorted. Oh, geez, okay. I'm gonna make the decision, I think, with the rest of this day. What are we at with the carpentry? Level 2. Okay, we're gonna stop and we're gonna watch carpentry before we go any further. I'm just gonna leave this on the neighbor's drive. I'm sure they won't mind. I'm gonna hit life and living, get hopefully our 3rd level in carpentry or close to it. We can prep a little, maybe a couple of supplies to take with us. But then I think we're gonna try and hit the gas station and the grocery store. Wouldn't mind if we start reading some electrical. We can eat the rest of this mutton chop. We've got a good amount of fresh food in storage right now. I'd say when we go to the supermarket, we can focus on picking up like non-perishables. We're gonna bring peanut butter with us as our go snack, and we're gonna start reading the electrical book. Now, the reason we're reading this, just as a reminder, is that if we can get our electrical to level 3, we automatically learn how to use a generator, which bypasses the need for the generator operating manual magazine. Skip a little bit of time here, which I'm only really currently doing, because I know we're in relative safety. Usually, I don't like to skip time. Some people use it very freely. I'm not a big fan. Okay, that's given me about half a level. So I think if we can catch tomorrow's Life and Living, we should get to level 3 for carpentry. And that will give us the ability to make composters and some other stuff, like I believe rain collectors are also level 3, which will give us some more sort of like forward planning for basing. Oh, hello. Okay, we got like 3 zombies. We should probably clear these out just because they're like right next to base. So let's get rid of these guys. Okay, nice and easy. Let's start collecting digital watches as well. The reason I'm doing that is so that we can use them later to grind out our electrical skill. Electrical is basically one of the only skills that you can still get XP from dismantling stuff. Okay, we have 22 storage in here. Not great. I'd imagine that's damaged in some way. We're gonna head to the gas station and the Gigamart. Now, there's a lot of zombies up here, so I am just gonna try my best not to hit any, just so we don't do any unnecessary damage to the cars. Now, you guys are going to see quite how busy it is in the high streets on Project Zomboid now with the zombie distribution changes. You can see there are a fair few zombies around. Now, this is the food place, and I'm just kind of scouting this out. So there's quite a few zombies. I don't think I'm going to risk this. A little bit of a scouting run. The next place we're going to is the gas station, which is just up here on the right. Wow, lots of zombies. Okay. Oh, it's been burned down in this playthrough. I'm not going to commit to this because I feel this is very unsafe. Be very careful driving off-road, not to get stuck in any bushes or trees, and we'll just make our way back. A little bit of a scouting run, but I think for now... Oh no. We're out of gas. So that's how far that amount of gas got us. Not very, but we don't need to panic. We can outwalk most of these zombies. I think this is one of the biggest things with Project Zomboid. In this kind of situation, I think a lot of people would panic and use all their stamina trying to run away. We don't need to. The important thing is that we take action immediately. Now, you'll notice again that I'm guiding zombies around buildings, putting hard objects between me and them, and that's gonna increase the difficulty they have tracking me. Now, I know I'm gonna pull a lot more as we're walking around, and that's okay. I still have my gas cans, so I'm potentially going to try, I think, and identify some extra vehicles. This one has some, for example. I don't think I'm going to get the time. No. I'm not going to get the time to siphon gas like I would want to. I think we got like a tiny bit there. I can identify that vehicle on the map, so let's try and find a little bit of breathing room. Open my map. Okay. It's behind the yellow building. Don't want to take that alleyway as much as it might be tempting. I'm just opting not to dip through these buildings because I'm not really sure how safe they are inside. Again, you'll notice that I'm only really sprinting or jogging even in short bursts because usually I can outwalk the zombies. I can outmaneuver them at walking speed. I'm going to use this house. Put a little bit of distance between me and them. Use the fences to our advantage as well, just to slow them down, and keep using these houses to buy me some breathing room. So, not the run we were hoping for. The gas did not last very long at all. Has not changed our main goals, that being that we need food and gas. But you can see, again, all is not lost. We managed to buy ourselves some space. We're okay. Nothing crazy has happened. And we can always mark those things on our map for later. And once we're in a better position and we've learned a little bit more about combat, and once you feel a little bit more comfortable, maybe once you've got your stuff prepared for the long term, I can go back and I can recover those vehicles, and that's okay. Nothing drastic has happened that we can't recover from at this stage. Just trying to track this zombie here, just get him out of the way. Come on now. Come on. I can't remember if we've already checked this place. I don't think we have. Okay, nothing of value. So, let's take a moment to look at our map. We're going to mark up where the vehicle was, which was up here somewhere, I believe. And we also had gas here. So that's 2 things at the very least, even though we've actually lost our vehicle. We now know where gas is, should we need it. And I think, personally, that we might even be able to attempt the Gigamart on foot. It will be a little bit of work, but I think we can do that. The biggest thing is we haven't panicked and we're okay. Now, with the rest of my day, it is 4:20. I'm gonna attempt to start clearing the way a little bit towards the supermarket, I think, towards the Gigamart. There's gonna be a lot of fighting involved here, I think. So I'm gonna go back this way and I'm gonna pull away a couple of zombies at a time, and I'm just gonna try and work on a little bit of clearance towards the Gigamart. Now, if you're wondering how I'm doing that, I'm just pressing Q. If I do that while I'm crouched, then it will whisper. If I press Q while I'm standing, it will yell. It's a timeless classic that people play pranks on newer players and tell them that Q is for the cure and stuff like that. It is not, in fact, for the cure. There is no cure. But we can use it to our advantage to draw away zombies from time to time. Okay, this is a little more attention than I wanted, and that's all right. We can keep using the environment to our advantage here. So as you can see, I'm just using the fences here and there just to either buy me some time or get me those instant kill hits. And where possible, I'm also trying to stomp on the zombies to buy myself some extra time before muscle strain kicks in my arms. Now, do I have to clear all these zombies? Complex question, but in my mind, no, but it's preferable. And the reason I say that is because this is the route to the Gigamart. It's not very far away. And while I know that I can lose them, I'm heading into what is an unknown area. And I'm not confident that I can lose them whilst pushing into a zone that I know has zombies. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to expand the area that we know is clear, so that if I attract too many zombies at the Gigamart, I can always fall back. I'll just take a moment here. We've got the time to do so. Wow. Okay, there's a lot of zombies around here. Try and keep drawing one or two away here and there, but I am noticing that my character is getting out of breath, which is causing me some trouble. And we've got even more over here. These zombies are really following me more further than I expect to, so I'm going to try and lure them around the buildings a little bit. This is turning into a much larger project than I suspected it would, but that's all right. Really, at this point in time, I know where the things are that we want in order to prepare. I suppose the big thing about this as well is that it doesn't matter. If surviving this 7 days takes the form of me fighting zombies for the next 2 days, that's okay. I know where the things are that I want to prioritize on. We know where our vehicle is. It can take us all the time in the world to get back to those things, to find ourselves a generator. We have a ton of time to work with. I would much rather be careful than try and rush things. Drawing them over towards this house, you can see one of them stuck on the door. This one's coming over and I should be able to use this window to my advantage, assuming they don't get stuck on the door. There we go. Let's take another rest. We're missing the exposure survival, but that's all right. Not really one of my primary concerns right now. Let's switch to the nightstick, I think, rather than using our hammer. Back to clearance work. How was our weight situation doing? Steady 78. Okay, that's not bad. So there would be an up arrow if I was gaining or a down arrow if I was losing. Steady at 78 is a good place to be. Remember, we want to be between 75 and 80 ideally. And that's good for us. Where are these zombies? I feel like they were around the back of this house. Might have lost a good bunch of them now. Let's just try and continue making our way up this road towards the Gigamart. I know this is going to take us some time, but it's worth doing. We can avoid some of them, but I know I'm going to end up getting into a big fight around the Gigamart, which is just here. So I'd rather have a clear area to retreat to when I need to. Got a decent group of zombies just in front of the church. If there's any vehicles outside the church, I might be able to siphon some gas from them. Now that we know that the gas station is so busy, that's basically my next best option, is to siphon gas from other vehicles. Yeah, we're gonna draw a lot of zombies here, I think, because they'll be hiding in the nooks and crannies of these buildings. As long as we keep using the fences to our advantage, we should be able to clear out a really decent group. This is like one of the biggest tests of Zomboid is, in my opinion, is like endurance. Like, I know that I'm not gonna go doing anything stupid. It's more about, can I preserve my character's energy for as long as possible, and he is starting to get fatigued again. So I'm gonna lure these zombies away and find a little bit of space for myself to take another break. It's getting around towards the end of the day, so really right now all we're doing is clearing as much as we can, but Zomboid is definitely not a sprint. It is a marathon. So again, I'm just gonna retreat back to this house. I know it's clear, so we can take a moment and take a seat. Am I losing weight? I am losing weight again, so we're just gonna have something to eat, and that's fine. And I'm eating high-calorie foods, cereal, peanut butter, things like that, to try and pack on the pounds, as it were. Starting to think that this journey is going to be a long one to clear this road. I can hear at least 2 or 3 in this building. Okay, 2 more on the way. My back is clear. It's worth me doing a spin every so often just to check behind me and make sure none is sneaking up on me, even though I know the area behind me is relatively clear. Good stuff. Any watches these guys have for me? Not really. What about these ones? Nope. I think it's getting around to the time where I need to start thinking about getting back to base. Oh, okay, yeah, we don't want to deal with those right now. Yeah, I think this is gonna have to be back to base time. One thing as well, as I've killed like a lot of these zombies, you can see that the odor is building in the area. There are some rumors that this in itself has a negative effect on your character. That is not the case. There's nothing to back that currently. All it is basically doing is warning us that corpse sickness could be generated in the area. Because previously you just used to, the first sign of corpse sickness you used to get in build 41 was queasy. You would get queasy, and that would be the signal, oh, I've got to get out of here. Now, you don't need to get to that point. You will know that the area is a risk as soon as you see that moodle. You can use masks to prevent that from building. Most masks are uncomfortable to wear for your character. Oh, we've got a seed packet there, actually. It's just for, yeah. Just for herbs. Nothing really that I'm going to be too worried about. Do we need any more curtains? We do need like a couple of extra curtains for the doors and the windows. We'll probably stay downstairs when the helicopter event happens as well. Just stay out of sight. To be honest, I think right now, all we can really do is just keep working our way towards that Gigamart. And that's all we're going to do with our time from here, is work our way towards some food. I know that in that Gigamart, we'll be able to get ourselves a freezer unit, which is going to be difficult to get back to base without the car, but we can give it a try, and we'll just take our time with it. I'm gonna place this extra gas can on the table here, and we'll stuff our face. We'll go ahead and throw this in here. Some extra food. My character isn't tired, but it is getting around to 10 p.m. I feel I would almost rather go to bed now to keep a good sleep schedule than push it too much further. I feel like my character will be very soon getting tired. We're gonna head to sleep now. There it is. Just as I was saying that, it's kicked in. We've got a good handle on when our character is getting tired, which is important to keep a good schedule. So if I go to sleep now, we'll probably be up in plenty of time to have a full day ahead of us. So while it doesn't look like we've actually made that much progress today, I think the important thing is that we've identified that the gas station is overrun. It is not a viable approach for us right now. We've identified a vehicle that has gas that can be siphoned even on our way back. We know that we are close to the Gigamart. We know that we can make our way there, and I think that should be our primary goal, is stocking up on some food ready for the helicopter event, which could arrive at any point starting tomorrow until day 9. Okay, let's go into day 6.